So we've got absolute horrific scenes coming out of Liverpool, where we have seen yesterday a car has ploughed into a massive crowd as Liverpool Football Club are celebrating their Premier League victory. I'm Craig, a former British soldier, and we're just going to do a bit of a tactical breakdown of what happened yesterday. So horrific. 27 people have been hospitalised. The police have ruled out terrorism, and what they did right away pretty quickly, which I think is correct, was got out there that it was a 53-year-old white man. I don't normally like titles like that being put out because I think it's normally just a man, but what we don't want is a repeat of history where people automatically get misinformation, think it's a terrorist attack, and start targeting certain types of people, certain religions, certain races, because that shouldn't happen. We shouldn't be aggressive towards anyone, and this definitely shouldn't have happened. So straight away, they got a 53-year-old white man out there, which is the right thing to do. I've tried to look at quite a bit of footage, and what I was trying to figure out was the streets were absolutely crowded. I can't show what happened because YouTube, with all its rights, the video just get blocked. But I've looked at it, and there's thousands of people. The bus had just passed by minutes before. So my question is why and how did the car get down onto Water Street? Why was there not roadblocks in places so that on a day like this, cars were not able to drive down the street for a good hour or two after the bus had passed to make sure people had dispersed, or at least half hour. This was minutes after the bus had passed. That's a fault that I found. I don't know the full ins and outs. So if you've got an answer to that, then please do comment below. But I've looked at all the footage and I can't figure out why all roads weren't blocked off for the car to get down. The car basically come down the road, hit a bunch of people, and hats off to the Scousers. Too right, I'm not surprised by it. All started smashing in the windscreen, okay? I don't condone violence, but you've got to stop that driver. So you've got to get that car open and you've got to stop that driver, okay? Don't need to seriously injure him, but you've got to stop that motor vehicle. So as you can see, everyone trying to stop this motor vehicle, they're trying to stop the car. You can see the police come running over as well. This is when the car then sped up. And this is where I believe most of the damage and most of the injuries were done. This is where you know he was set on hurting people because the car had stopped and then it carried on and he was steering. The car then carried on most probably for about another 20-30 meters, and this is where it hit a whole load of people, including people going under the car, sadly children as well. 4 actually got trapped under the car. Once again, while the car was moving and it stopped, people were jumping out of the way, but there was a lot of brave people, hats off to you, trying to stop that vehicle, including police running to. I know police get a real hard time, but I know a lot of people who are just normal civilians did run towards the car, but if you saw every police officer in the video, they all ran towards it as well. And that's what they're there to do, that's what they're paid to do, and that's what they do on a daily basis. They do put their life on the line, but just normal everyday people did it as well, so hats off to all of you. Not quite sure what happened to the guy after this, but the car did stop. People managed to basically break windows, get the door open, and you just saw people piling in the car trying to get him. From what I saw, it looked like people seriously want to hurt him. Like I said, we don't condone violence, but I get everyone's adrenaline is pumping. People have just been run over, so I totally get what they're doing. This is where the hard part come for the police, because basically the police had to disperse the crowd. They dispersed the crowd and managed to get hold of the guy. What they then had to do was try and get him into a van while there was an angry mob trying to get their hands off him as well. Once again, like I said, I don't blame them. You've just seen your friends, family members, even yourself, nearly been run over or actually run over by this guy. So the difficult thing about being a police officer is they've got to get that suspect, because he is a suspect, even though we've seen it happen. You've got to find out the full story, safely getting him into the van without being injured, and you've got to put your emotions aside. And that's where it can become difficult for a police officer and a soldier. Can you imagine, you've seen what they've done, you've seen the car plough into people, but what you've got to do, you've actually got to make sure that that person is safe and arrest them and move them back in the van and stop people trying to get their hands on them, knowing what they've just done. You've got to keep your cool, be completely non-biased, and arrest him and get him back into the van. Next then, during the situation, what could the police have done? Not really too much. The issue is, first of all, what they could have done is made sure all roads were blocked off and there was no way cars could get down those streets. Secondly, armed response. Is there anything armed response officers could have done? Most probably not, because of the crowds. There's no way you were going to have line of sight, shoot the wheel, shoot the engine block, neutralize the car, you know, take a headshot at a person. You know, in that sort of situation, a police officer would be able to take an aim shot because there was immediate threat to life. Same with a soldier. If you saw immediate threat to life, you would be able to engage the target and take the shot. But in that sort of situation, you wouldn't be able to get a clear shot because the overcrowded. The best the police could do is what they did. Run towards the car, stop, neutralise the car, turn it off, and then get the driver out, arrest him, and get him in the back of a police car or van and get him away to the police station. There is no way possible that you'd be able to get any sort of shot off in a situation like that. When it comes to police and the army as well, this is where the difference comes. They actually carry different ammunition just because of the issues of firing around in sort of crowded places where there are civilians, houses, population, etc. They use a different type of round on the end. I believe it's a little more hollow and sort of breaks up on any sort of impact to prevent any sort of ricochets. Unlike sort of the ammunition that we use in the military. Don't get how that car got down that road in such a crowded place. But overall, well done to all the people who ran towards the car to stop the car and the police officers as well for doing their job and running towards the car. We need a safer Britain. What is going on? I don't know. I was speaking to someone about this the other day. I don't know if it's because we've just got social media now. There's so many news outlets that you're hearing about crimes more often. Obviously the population's bigger, so percentage wise there's going to be more sort of attacks. Or is it just the world is in a much worse place than it was 30, 40, 50 years ago, and we are just seeing continuous attacks on people, whether that's gang wars, knife crime, lone wolf car attacks like this, terrorism. It's just mad. It seems like every week there is something going on. And going back to my previous video, do we need to arm all cops? No. But do we need to arm more of them? Yes. Do they need the correct training? Yes. Do we need to put the soldiers on the streets? Most probably not right now, but maybe it's something that we could possibly look at in the future. There is way too many things going on at the minute, and we need some sort of deterrent. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Remember, it's all theoretical. It's just my input and just what I'm roughly thinking. Remember, we don't condone violence, so this was a non-terrorist attack. This seems like a lone wolf 53-year-old white man, so the police will get down to it and they will understand what actually happened, and I'm sure once they have more information they will release that to the public. You know, my heart goes out to all the family members of those that got injured, especially the children. Really sad to see, and hopefully we can sort of tackle this issue of these mass attacks that are going on, not just in the UK but around the world. Thank you for watching. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. Head over to combatreadyhq.co.uk to check out our coffee and our merch, and head over to Combat Fuel for military safe supplements. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.